punch you right in the mouth, Dean. Stop using literally. Okay. Denny Porter. Now, on Facebook, you see that name, Denny Porter, who's watching this? That is the lesser half of the power couple, Amy and Denny Porter. Amy Porter is the one who's going to clean your house. Get it? A and D cleaning. I don't know why she included his initial, in the name of the business. Get that out of here. That's Amy's cleaning service is what it should be. Denny's not cleaning anything. Denny thinks he's the eye candy behind the business, but he's not. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. That's the podcast for today. All right, see Rick Steinbach from TC Paintball is there. That's good. He's a winner. You're all winners. All right, let's get going.
And now, here's a guy that proves there is no vaccine against stupidity. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Very much, Sonny. My goodness. Yeah. Comes a note. I really. Right there. I love that. I can't really figure out what intro song I like better of John's. Damn it. You know, playing guitar must be easy if someone like John can master it. That's a sideways attack there. Well, maybe not so sideways. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, where, all right, first of all, let me start with this. I head over to Walgreens yesterday to pick up a prescription for my daughter. More on the whole prescription fiasco, separate with Jackie, a little later on in the show. But this was no big deal. The point of this story was, as I'm approaching the desk to pick up my stuff, there's a person in line there. She looks to be a younger mom, I would guess maybe 32, 33. And right away it stood out to me because I'm a nitpicker over, like that Lake Superior list of banned words. I was all over that thing. And I'm like, oh, thank God that literally is on the list. Well, there were some other ones that were on the list and other ones that stand out to me that should be on the list. I have this knack for when people are abusing and murdering our language to pick up on it instantly. And this otherwise normal individual is at the desk talking to the pharmacy tech. And I noticed that every other word was the word like. So as I'm getting closer to the desk, she's not in my view yet. But I right away hear it. And within 2-3 seconds, I hear the word twice. And I go, all right, while I am in the presence of this lady, I'm going to keep track of how many times she says like. From the time I got there until the time I got into dealing with the tech, she said like 7 times in her conversation. I also kept track of, I mean. She was saying, I mean. She said that twice. And, of course, she tapped into the well of literally twice. So in her conversation, she said like 7 times, I mean twice, and literally twice. This is a terrible thing, but it's a burden that affects me because I'm so focused on shit like this that it's consuming my life. Okay. Now I'm sure that there are things that I say way too much, but you see, I have exquisite charm. I have storytelling ability. I'm gregarious. I'm affable and very humble. So that kind of covers up all of those things that I may do over and over again. And I don't want to see any of your lists, people, of things that I say way too much. Don't you dare leave in the comments words that I say way too much, or phrases, or things that should be. You know what we can do? Actually, I take it back. Let's do the Eric Zane Show Lake Superior list of things that I say and or do way too much. This is your opportunity. Have at it, okay? You can leave it in the comments of Facebook. You can leave it in the comments on the YouTube video. You can tweet at me on the Blue Frost IT Twitter handle is @EricZaneShow. Okay. Or just email me the old-fashioned way, eric@ericzaneshow.com. You may not come to the house like Boring Dean does and tell me. All right. So that stood out to me. As always, this show is streamed on multiple platforms, as I indicated, YouTube, Periscope, through Twitter, and, yes, the mighty, mighty Facebook. But the source that I really want to make sure you subscribe to on the audio portion on demand is through ericzaneshow.com. Click where it says free podcast and then hit subscribe, and all the usual podcasting platforms will pop up. Or just whatever podcast platform you use, if you search my name, I'm there. I'm on all of them. They've, over time, have approached me and said, can we get you on Stitcher? Yes, you may use the show. Can we get you on Spotify? Of course. I would like nothing more. And the almighty Apple Podcast is the big one, though, that you can hear the show. It originates from this beautiful Back Alley Comedy Club studio, smack dab in the middle of Hudsonville, Michigan, where this weekend on January 11th, Troy Davis will be at Back Alley Comedy Club in Muskegon, part of Sherman Bowling Center. And then on January 24th and 25th, putting the cerebral into cerebral palsy, Josh Blue comes to town. He's got shows, on Friday in Rockford at Rockford Lanes. That's January 24th. 2 shows there. And then January 25th in Muskegon at Back Alley Comedy Club, part of Sherman Bowling Center, as I said. A lot to get to today. A lot of fun stuff, man. Whew. What a morning. Wait till you hear this. I was looking to pick a fight today. Creeps with Kids also happens January 18th. So you got Troy Davis at Back Alley on the 11th. Creeps with Kids on January 18th in Detroit. Look, seriously, this is an awesome, awesome show for like next to nothing, considering what you're getting. 4 headlining comedians: Jim Florentine, Rich Voss, Robert Kelly, and, of course, Ron Bennington. Creepswithkids.com, or just click on the link at the comments of the audio podcast, or on the Creeps with, it's not gang members, Crips and Bloods with Kids. Creeps with Kids icon at the lower sponsor scroll of ericzaneshow.com. What a morning. Boy, it's just shocking how the little things can just throw you off. First of all, it's kind of a miracle that I'm here right now, considering how late I woke up today, and how different 24 hours makes. Monday morning, it was this rise and shine, go get 'em attitude. All right, let's go get 'em. And, got up at 4:20 a.m. Last night, wrapping up the evening, I said to Diane, I go, so we're getting up early again for Fit Body Boot Camp, right? No. I'm going to go every other day because this is too much for me. I don't want to burn out. I go, all right, okay, I can live with that. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's not great, because what that ensures when I get up for Fit Body Boot Camp is that I'm everything else falls into place at a reasonable time. If I have the option of laying there, that's not good. And today was that day. And man, oh, God, I just laid there like an idiot. Way too late. So then I make it so, all right, now I'm under the gun to get up here. But I still have chores to do. I still got to pack I still have to pack the lunches for the. And on the kitchen table or the countertop, Diana screwed the lid on. She just like set it on top. And then you're in business. What the hell is wrong with you? So the shit goes flying everywhere. It looks like a bad Japanese porno. And then it's on the ground, and the dogs are licking it up, and it's everywhere, and it's so thick and jizzy that it's like hard to clean up, and it's like I'm like mopping the counter, and I'm like, what is going on? So I reach out to her, and I go on FaceTime. I go, hey, or on FaceTime. I go, did you use this? Yes. I go, well, do you realize you just set this lid on here? I don't know. I didn't know. So then I just hung up. Didn't even say goodbye. Just like hung it up. So pissed. My God. Immediately felt bad. Do you do that? You ever like do something? You ever like lash out to your wife or your husband? You immediately feel bad. Well, I doubt that the wife would feel bad at the husband because the wife's always. Wives are vindictive, angry individuals, is what they are. And when they do stuff like I just did, there's no way in hell they're ever going to be sorry about anything. They're always pissed off. That's right. I'm starting a war against wives today. Take that, wives. I don't know what the hell my problem is. Probably because of that. So anyway, I called her back. I'm sorry I yelled at you, but this is ridiculous. All right. So I clean up all that shit. Then, there is stuff in the news I want to talk to you about, but this is fresh on my brain because this is absolutely teamwork by these dogs. And it's in the same moment, like 2 minutes later, I'm making Diana's lunch. And Bruce is kind of involved in this, but I don't think he was in on it entirely. And here I got, Diana says she wants some cold cuts and some cheese. You know, no bread, of course. We're doing this ketogenic diet, which, by the way, we had another good day yesterday. And so I'm doing that, and I'm putting the food into the lunch bag, and then I get out the cheese slices, and I'm mixing and matching. She's got the Swiss, the provolone, and the Munster, and it's all there. At about that time, Daisy starts flipping out of the top of the stairs, looking down into the basement because the cat's taunting her. And she's like really agitated. I'm like, oh, this is not good. She's going to bust through that gate. And then O'Neill and Bruce go over to where she is to join dog forces to attack the cat. I have to intervene. As I go around this island, this has happened before, and I fall for it every time because I'm such a dumb asshole. I wander around. And as I get close to the three dogs, Benny's upstairs, O'Neill peels off the group and goes to where I was. He is tall enough. He knows that cheese is there. And as I'm over trying to like disperse the dogs, I hear, and that's O'Neill. And I turn around, and sure enough, his face is up at counter height, and he grabs the cheese, and he's down. He's got the cheese. It's like 7-8 slices of cheese with like the paper still on them, you know, in between the slices so that they come apart. He's got all the paper. He's trotting away from me because he knows I got to get that from him. So I'm going to take it out of his mouth. And he's got this huge wad of cheese, and he's trying to like force it down but he knows he's got to chew it a little more, so he's got to buy some time. So he's running to the house, going, and I'm chasing him. How now? And I finally corner him, and he's still working the cheese. And I grab him. I put my hand into his mouth, which no doubt is shit remnants from the last a backyard buffet table moment when he eats turds. And I pull out this half-chewed wad of cheese and paper. I'm like, oh, God, thank God I got this. You could have choked. Pull it out. I go, oh, Neil, what are you doing? You're killing me, man. Throw it away, start over. But it's that teamwork by them. Now, Bruce and Daisy don't know, but O'Neill is a smart SOB. He knows that the second I walk away from there, that we have an unguarded, he'd be great at capture the flag. And he goes and gets it. Oh, my God. What a thing. All right. That moment, though, did help me forget kind of the moment before last night where all I wanted to do was go to the Y to get my workout in. Diana is working there with the little kids. She takes care of the little kids in the kids zone, part of the side racket in the daily grind. And so she works 2 jobs. She works all day at the school. Has 1 hour in between, and then off she goes. So I'm going to see her there. I'm looking forward to that. And before I leave, I got to feed the cats. So I'm feeding the cats, and I'm like, I go, okay, that's a little bit bad of a smell and strong, and appears to be getting stronger. And that could be a downstairs cat dump, recent in the box, but. You see, when you're this in tune with the beasts in this home, your spider sense starts tingling from time to time. And like, I don't know. Now, I'm in the kitchen in the spot near where O'Neill had that last incident I was telling you about. But O'Neill is locked away in the cage in his crate, and so is Bruce. Because I'm getting ready to leave. All I want to do is leave. We have just finished a walk outside, all 4 of them. So, and 3 went poo. Okay. And I'm like, oh boy. I don't think this is cat related. The one dog who did not go number 2 is just looking at me. It's Daisy. Now, Daisy's getting on in years. She kind of just sleeps around on the couch. But how is it that you were just outside for a more than 1/2 mile walk? Everybody else goes to the bathroom, and then you wait like 2 minutes later after you get inside, and then not only do you go number 2, but you go number 2 on carpet, and it's snack pack pudding time. There's nothing easy about the next job. Not a thing. And it is a bummer. I mean, it's an elaborate cleanup. It's like hazmat level. She's a wanderer when she goes number 2. It looks like she's carpet bombed the whole area. It looks like Iran's going to look like next month. It's just ruined. There's going to be some butthurt bleeding hearts who are not going to like that joke. Shut up. So I'm like, and it's just, this smell is atrocious. I'm like, oh, this is bad. All I wanted to do was leave. So I'll spare you any more of the gory details, but just know that that carpet cleaner was pushed to its maximum in terms of being able to get this thing up. I had to get down and scrub, and then scrub my hands after. It was that absurd. Oh, and then windows open. The house is freezing. It ruins the home, and she's just looking at me, with that freaking underbite. good day for you to watch the live stream of the podcast because you can't really see the underbite dog face I'm making of Daisy. That's symbolic of what she is. Just love her to death. All right, get that shit cleaned up. Huh. Off we go. Now, at the YMCA, I ran into for the second time in 2 days, a gentleman from my past who I knew over at GRD. And I'm hoping some of you will remember this. But back when I started at GRD in 2004, we had a staff that is not there now. It's completely different staff outside of the morning show. If you remember, Dave Fox was on. Remember Dave Fox? A young lady by the name of Susie Cole. There was a lady on after we got off the air. It was Amanda. Let's see. Amanda was on after us. And then I think Dave Fox was on afternoons. And then Susie Cole was on nights. But there was another guy on the air, and I don't think he was full-time. He was known as Junior on the air. Some called him JR. And he, did his thing on GRD. And then it eventually dried up. He moved on to greener pastures. He is a chef by trade. And a pretty damn good one. In fact, that's what he does now to this day. A young French-American by the name of Jean-René. And I ran into Jean-René at, I think I said that right, but I never referred to him as Jean-René. I always referred to him as Junior. I ran into Junior at the YMCA like late last week, and I didn't recognize him. He had a hat on, and then he sees me, and he pulls the hat off, and I go, "Oh, my God, JR, Junior, what's up?" I have a long conversation with him. He was always very insightful and polite and kind when I worked with him, and that hasn't changed. I think he's even gotten more of those things because it was a really nice conversation. We didn't really share a lot of experiences when we worked together, but I always liked him. He was always very, very polite and kind to me back then. And so I kind of, small talk, and he asked me what I've been up to, and I told him about this racket. Well, I ran into him again and his lovely wife yesterday. And he checked out the podcast. Now, I love opinions about the show, especially good ones. In fact, I'm not going to lie, I only like those opinions. He really loved the podcast, so I was really stoked about that to hear it from him because he's got a pretty damn good ear. And he said he actually listened to it enough that he goes, "You know what I love about it? You sit there and you rap about things going on in the world, and then you make comments about it." He goes, "That's what I love the most." So I was stoked to hear that. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome in. You made my night, JR. I appreciate you, and thank you for being on with the show. Now, in my next story that I want to get to, I know this is a lot of personal stuff, but some of you love this stuff. And I try to mix it up, so I'm going to get the personal stuff out of the way and then ridiculous in the news stuff after that. And I have a story about Diana. I picked a fight with her yesterday. Remember I said she has a short window of time where she gets home from job 1 and she goes to job 2? Well, I don't think she was counting on fighting with me, but she had a fight with me, and I do stand by it. But I don't have the ability to be nice about anything when it comes to shit like this. I was pissed off. I'll tell you about that coming up in just a bit. But first off, you may have seen me post about it. I got a brand new sponsor to the Eric Zane Show podcast. The business is known as BK Guns and Stuff, and it's guns, Guns, the letter N, stuff. You can get to them by clicking on the logo on ericzaneshow.com. It'll take you right to their Facebook page. Now, you might be like, "Zane, what is it with you and guns?" Well, this guy is a gunsmith. He is the bread and butter of the business for Ben and his wife, Kyle. And you might be like, "Kyle, wait, what's going on there? That's a boy's name." Yeah, I know. She is not a boy. She is a man. But yes, her name is Kyle. There are that it can be a girl's name. You might be like, wait, what's going on? Is Ben married to a dude? No. Quit being stupid. His lovely better half, 51% owner of BK Guns and Stuff, is Kyle. In fact, she's not just like an initial to be kind. She's hands-on with the restoration of guns. She is a kick-ass Saranac gun mom. All right? And Ben and Kyle, they own and operate BK Guns and Stuff. They family-run gunsmith shop specializing in repair and restoration. You got a broke gun? You got an old gun that needs to be, given the once-over, cleaned, whatever it may be. This is who you need to call. They are the official gunsmith of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Now, this is their number, 616-902-2447. 616-902-2447. All right? So they specialize in that. They also do custom pistols and rifles. Firearms transfers. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but they told me to mention that. All right, so that's what you do. And this is truly a family-run business because they both have regular jobs in their respective fields, and then they do this too on the premises. So this is the best because if you got a gun that's busted, they'll fix it for you. So now I got a gunsmith on the show. I've got a concealed pistol license instructor on the show. I have a badass AR-15 manufacturer and seller on the show. Wow, this is great. Thank you so much to BK Guns and Stuff. Another local business, Bennett Flooring Installation, where I'm going to tell you about a special deal where you can win a $1,500 install sometime in the very near future. I'm not going to do it today because I'm kind of under the gun, but Bennett Flooring Installations has a contest for you to win that $1,500 carpet install with pad and labor for you. But more on that later. If you need the carpeting installed, if you need any flooring installed, whether that be laminate or hardwood, the authority. Jacob Bennett and his cousin, 616-318-0157, BennettFlooringInstallation.com. Check them out online. You can get to their website by going to mine first if you like and click on Bennett Flooring Installation in the sponsor scroll, or just go to BennettFlooringInstallation.com. It's up to you. Jacob will go anywhere in West Michigan, for the most part in and around the greater Grand Rapids area. You call him up and arrange that. He shows up. This is free, okay? He's going to measure that shit out and give you an estimate. You mention the show, you save 10%. Yes. And I always love you to sit on that till you're to a nice fun time. You can say, hey, Zane sent me 10%. Take that off my bill. Thank you to Bennett Flooring Installation for offering that up for all of you. And thank you for patronizing Bennett Flooring Installation. So yesterday I'm sitting here. It's about time for Diana to come home. I go to the mailbox, and yet another medical bill from 2019. I'm like, shit, I thought I paid all these off for Jackie's surgery. That was a huge, huge nut. I had to take a loan from myself to pay that off. We were just drowning in the bills. My God, the deductible from the policy on Obamacare was just freaking nuts. God, I had to dig in for 8 large just to get the benefits to kick in. Could be worse, though. All that whole procedure for Jackie's knee was upwards of $40,000. So I ain't complaining. It's the way it is. So I get another medical bill. I'm like, oh, shit. Come on, man. Is this a scraggler here? I thought we got this all taken care of. New year, you know? I open it up, and I see the one thing that this pisses me off so bad. And tell me if you've been in this scenario. I would love to hear this because this sucks. You know, we are in this household just like you. We have No one is getting rich here. The goal is to make enough to eat, keep the lights on, do the podcast, and maybe stash a little bit away for when we get old. That's it. Maybe pay for a wedding or two, and it ain't easy. So when I get a piece of mail that says you owe so-and-so medical $25 for a missed appointment, man, that burns me bad. I'm like, well, I know I didn't do it. It was an appointment for Madison that was missed. Now, this is a Diana thing. So right away, I know in the hierarchy of the household whose responsibility this is. It was a specific medical thing that those two would have been working together. I'll just leave it there. Girl stuff, you know? Definitely not boy stuff. By the way, do you do that in your house? You got girl shit and you got boy shit? I mean, there are certain, like when it comes to problems with the boyfriend, for either my daughters, you know, occasionally my phone will ring and I've got a crying female on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, hello? Where's Mom? What? I called her phone and she's not picking up. Yeah, she was in, I don't know. She was cleaning up one of Daisy's poos. Why didn't you call me? Boy stuff. Oh, yeah, you're right. Here she is. I'll hand her off to you. I'm out. So that's what this was. Diana walks in from work, and I'm pissed. Like I said, she has to go to the next job. I go, yeah, here's a $25 bill for, and I like hold it up. There's no nice way of doing this. I could have very easily, and probably should have, said, honey, wow, look at this. We got this $25 bill for a missed appointment. I don't know, was that something on your end maybe? Oh, God, I thought I canceled that, which is what she said when I held it up like a dick. And I had this look on my face like, I hate your guts. I'm holding it up. She goes, oh, I thought I can't. Yeah, you didn't. You didn't cancel it. So now it's, $25. Great, thanks. Yeah, we're rolling in money. Who cares? Whatever. Let's go light some money on fire. That's what we're going to do. It's like Pablo Escobar. Go throw some bricks of fire to keep us warm, or bricks of money on the fire to keep us warm. It's cool. No big deal. And I start getting a look. So she's about ready to lose patience with me, and then I just push her right over the edge. When I go, you getting ready to go to work? Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, you know that the first 2.5 hours of your workday today will be to pay for this. Good job. And man, kablooey! That one did it. That was the one. Now we're fighting. So then I'm laughing because, you know, that's I'm kind of like that when it comes to that shit. I don't care for that, and I need to actually do that. It's a terrible habit. Probably not very productive, and some of you ladies are probably, or maybe even guys, are like, yeah, that's pretty douchey. But some of you are probably like, fuck yes. I am of the opinion that you make it unpleasant when these things happen, okay? So that the person who is responsible for it will not want to have this type of unpleasantness the next time around that they're faced with the option of ignoring the cancellation or actually doing what they're supposed to do and cancel the fucking appointment. The fuck? Cancel it. So she's pissed. And then I called the clinic. And you know, I'm very, as you know, I mean, there is no one who can charm anyone better than me. As I said, full of charm and humility, humbleness. Well, I call up this person, And I turned this on several times a day. I did it more than once today, but nice lady answers the phone. It's the end of her workday. This all plays in my favor. She's probably been yelled at all day by morons. She picks up the phone, so-and-so, and I go, hi, is this billing? Yes, it is. And so I identify myself, and I politely explain. I put on my best laid-back, charming voice, trying to do that right now. And I explained what happened. But I took the blame. I didn't want to say, you see, you can't say, yeah, my wife didn't cancel it, because, A, that would just piss Diana off further. And she would probably, this lady who I don't know, would then side with Diana, gender to gender. So I took the heat, and I said, sorry, I did a boo-boo, and I forgot to cancel this appointment. Is there any way just this one time you could waive the $25 missed appointment fee? No problem, Mr. Z. She was so, I think I could have taken her to bed right then. She was so charmed. I could actually hear her pulling her underwear off over the phone. It was that profound. So I got it waived because I'm great. And then I hung up. I said, hey, I got it waived. So that pissed Diana off even more. You put me through all that just to get it waived. What kind of asshole are you that demands a pound of flesh? And she's right. There's no question. That is asshole-ish in nature. I shouldn't have done it. It felt good at the time, but I do regret it. Now let a little time pass. Get about 3, 4, 5 minutes. Got to go charm her. Smooth that over. Good to go. Done. That was that. You're probably thinking, man, I could not handle being married to you, Eric. I don't do this that often, but, man, that really grinds my gears when I see that missed appointment. It's like, come on, man. You got to write shit down that I can't open it up right now, but I have a to-do list. I used to actually write it on paper and keep it with me. I don't know if you do that. Now I dig out the note taker. I have 2 lists that are constantly evolving on my note taker on the phone. One is actually titled To Do. All right? I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty damn good. And on it is the list. Something happens, I put it on there. And then the other thing is the talk about. 2 lists. To do, talk about. Talk about is regarding this show. If it's something I can park on, it goes on talk about. If it's something that has to be done, I put it on to do. That's it. How the fuck can you not do this? Come on. This isn't that hard. This is basic shit. If you go, oh, yeah, I got to do that, and then you don't write it down, you're going to forget, dick. Put it on your list, you stupid bastard. You're going to keep it all in your noggin? Oh, I know what the fuck's going on. I got it in my steel trap. No, you don't. Put it on the list. Bruce is like, there he goes again. He's yelling. Hey, O'Neill, I know you haven't even, I don't even think O'Neill's been behind me yet. Has he gotten up or gotten down yet? He's not willing to show his face after the shit he put me through earlier today. Eating that cheese. All right, if you're just tuning into the podcast, you need to know that Facebook is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. You're like, wait a minute, just tune into the podcast. Yeah, there's a live element. It's on Facebook, Twitter, and, of course, YouTube. Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair. Twitter is sponsored by Blue Frost IT. At Eric Zane Show on Twitter. Follow. I need you on there. I set a record for hold time yesterday. I had mentioned in yesterday's podcast I was already frustrated with the healthcare system, the new one that I got. It was not their fault, though. At all. You won't believe this. I sat here for extended time yesterday bitching about how is it that I can pay for a policy with the new company that I just signed up for on Obamacare, and after a horrible year last year, you know, the old green check mark story, and not having my provider, how can I start off the new year on such a poor, with such a poor thing happening? Signing up, my daughter goes to get a prescription. They say, you don't have coverage. You You were kicked off your coverage. You don't have it. It's gone. What? This is the pharmacist telling her that. What the fuck? So that's a disconcerting feeling, you know? I mean, here you are. It's, what the fuck? So I started the process yesterday when I got done with the podcast. I couldn't start this till noon. I had a shit ton of stuff I had to take care of. I had the free podcast. I had Dale in here. I had to do the Patreon bonus. I was busy. Finally get going. And while I was taking care of stuff here, seated right here, I call Priority Health, and I'm on. And they say, all right, welcome to Priority Health. You are in line to have your call taken care of. You are number, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be bad. Noon. It's probably going to be 10 or 11 people in front of me. I've never heard this before. You are number 35. It's always a different voice. You are number 47. It was 35. 35 people ahead of me had problems. And I'm like, oh my God. Now, isn't it a thing now where if they say, if you'd like a call back, hit 1 and we'll call you back. And that works awesome every time. You just hit 1 and you say your name. And then I usually like to go, fuckface McGee, because no one's going to hear it but you. And then you hang up, and then 6 hours later, the phone rings, you pick it up, and it says, hello, this is Priority Health. If you are, and you hear your own voice, fuckface McGee, you are next in the queue. But I'm sometimes scared to do it because then I don't want the person on the other hand to say, yes, Mr. Fuckface McGee, how are you? So that happened, and I got the phone on speaker, and I'm seated right here, and I'm doing all sorts of shit here. I'm trying to work deals on the podcast for sponsorships. I'm doing arts and crafts. I'm trying to figure this out. It took, because I looked at the time on the phone call, 1 hour and 3 minutes of just sitting there listening. I had to plug in my phone to charge it. 1 hour and 3 minutes. Now, again, this plays to my advantage because most of these people can see how long you've been waiting. So, and most of those people are pissed. So you must adopt this strategy. Always be a sweetheart to these people. I mean, you are the nicest, friendliest, most loving soul on the other end of that phone when you talk to these people. You will always get what you want. They will always treat you well. I should adopt this with Diana next time. The next time she decides not to. No, fuck that. Bullshit. I'm not doing it. This lady gets on the phone, and I can tell she's like waiting for me to just blow up at her because of the wait time. Hello, I'm Lisa. I'm here to help you. Blah, 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 blah. I go, hi, how are you, Lisa? How was your day? Start with that. She's like, what? And she's like, oh, my God. So she answers me, and we started off our dialogue. And you remember I told you that Jackie could not get the prescription coverage to work. And she goes, well, that's weird. You do have coverage. I see you've automatically paid. You have we just take it out of your bank. You've never not had coverage. I go, yeah, that's what I thought. She goes, okay, well, I am going to track this down, but and I was under the impression that she hits a big plunger button and then the prescription benefits start. And I go, well, why didn't they start when I paid you? And she goes, good question. I am not entirely sure, Mr. Z, why this is going on, but rest assured, you will have coverage within 30 minutes, and if your daughter goes to pick up the medicine, you're good to go. And I go, well, you're just spectacular. Thank you so much. I had a couple more questions for her. She was charmed. Again, I can hear the underwear getting peeled off of her body while this is going on. And the conversation concludes. That's it. I win again. All right, you might be thinking, well, Zane, if you talk to Diana that way, she might peel her under. I don't need to do that. Again, she's known as the temptress. I can't, she already is like, all right, I need a place to sit. Where's your face? It's already like that. Jesus. So, then I'm taking the dogs for a walk, where, of course, Daisy won't poop because she'll do it in the house. And I get a phone call from this lady again who is calling me, who is standing there, no doubt, with no pants or underwear on. And it's her again. And this is like several minutes later. And I go, hey, how are you, Lisa? And she says, I did a little bit more digging on my body after I talked to you and about this thing that you were describing to me with your daughter. She had coverage all along. We found out that Jackie used the name Jackie with the pharmacist, and not that is a nickname. She did not use her legal name of Jacqueline. That's what caused all of this trouble. So that was it. So the fucking thing, it wasn't their fault at all. So I spent, 90 minutes of the day on the phone and making this woman have an orgasm. She was the big winner here. My God. That's all it was. Can you believe that? Ridiculous. All right. And when I come back, I'm not leaving you. I don't know why I do that. The news was dominated yesterday by two things. I'll talk about what they were and then delve a little bit into a name from the past is back in the news, and he's doubled down. But first, I want you to order a Franco's Pizza today, okay? It's Tuesday. They're open Tuesday to Saturday. Today for lunch at 11:30 and again at 4:30 this evening. So they're open up for lunch at 11:30. Order a pizza. They close at 1:30. I take it back. They open at 11. They close at 1:30. And then they open again at 4:30 on into the night. Franco's Pizza in Grand Rapids, right on Alpine, an institution. Been there since 1975. You can get an 18-inch one topping. It feeds 4 to 5 people for just $14. Feed your whole family for this. It's not like one of those garbage hot and readies where, you get one of those, you got to order like 11 of them to feed the family because there's nothing to those things. Get a real pizza, okay? Everything homemade, all right? I've seen the process of them making the dough, the specialized dough for their pizza. Franco's Pizza is second to none. Call them today. Mention my name. 616-361-7307. The owners' names are Eric and Marin. Like Martin, but drop the T. Eric and Marin. She's in charge. She kicks his ass all the time. 616-361-7307. Another one of my great sponsors is Hudsonville Fit Body Boot Camp. Now, this is important. They just went through an ownership change, and everything remains the same with the great staff at Hudsonville Fit Body Boot Camp. But I got to go and charm the hell out of the owner to see if he still wants in on the podcast. Wish me luck. All right, so I am hoping that is the case. Hudsonville Fit Body Boot Camp has been taking the thinking out of getting in shape for a long time. You will love it. I want to see you there at Hudsonville Fit Body Boot Camp. You need more information, just click on their logo in the sponsor scroll of ericzaneshow.com. Also, look them up on Facebook, Hudsonville Fit Body Boot Camp. I'll meet you there, and you can cash in on a week free, okay? And it isn't just you go and start lifting weights. It's a specialized workout that the coaches lead you through. There's music thumping. People are high-fiving. You're sweating your ass off for 30 minutes, and then you get your little moment of zen at the end of it, and then you go on throughout the rest of the day with energy. All right? Hudsonville Fit Body Boot Camp. I want you to check them out. And if you reach out to me, I'll go there with you. That offer always remains. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Every time I checked online yesterday, I've been bombarded with doom and gloom stories. And I hate to use the term mainstream media because it's really overused. And but it really does seem like that these days. Like there is a sky is falling mentality. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. And then everything else that falls under those umbrellas. If you checked online yesterday, they made it seem like every animal in Australia is dead. There's the whole country is burnt kangaroos and burnt koala bears. The whole country's on fire. And that and this ridiculous funeral for this psychopathic, homicidal, maniac, dead terrorist that we killed. That funeral coverage was just, it was like Barack Obama died. The amount of images and every half hour, new image of people wailing in the streets for their dead terrorist. That piece of shit Ayatollah crying because his fellow terrorist was killed. I laughed. I thought it was great. And shame on them for continuing to propagate and bolster this war in their world, this media personification of a war that they say is going to happen, and it's not. There is no way it's going to happen. First of all, it wouldn't be a war; it would be a massacre, and and that's it. But it's not going to happen. And you know why it's not going to happen? Because all those piece of shits who were sitting there crying for the dead terrorist now know that if one thing happens, they're going to be blown up to kingdom come. It will happen. There's no denying that. That's the one thing that is consistent here. They will be blown up. And who the hell wants that? And they know that because out of the blue, a missile went up the ass of the bad guy and made it so that they had to have a funeral for Chubb's hand. All right? That's it. There's nothing more. And those stupid bastards in their stupid funeral yesterday somehow managed to kill their own people during the funeral for Chubb's hand. They're walking down the street with Chubb's hand, and somehow a stampede breaks out. We don't know why, because no one's talking about it. Probably by some tough stance by the military there. And 32 people were massacred during the funeral for Chubb's terrorist hand, and hundreds more injured. Now, most of those people were probably forced to be there anyway because the Iranian government knows that the media here hates Trump, and they will report it. And the usual pieces of shit here who are sympathizing with them because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about are going to continue this charade about supporting them, which is all bullshit. Insane. So that happened. More on that in a second. And the other thing is this, the media keeps reporting about these fires in Australia and all the koala bears and all. You would think that it's just, there's nothing but air smells of burnt koala. There's nothing but burnt kangaroo lying in Australia. I saw one shot of a kangaroo that wandered into someone's swimming pool because it was so hot. And people are giving the koala bears are going up to the people and going, help us. And people are putting water into the mouths of the koala bears. All right. I get it. There's a fire there. Then I believe it was ABC. No, I think it was CBS. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. Put this map of Australia superimposed onto the U.S. and said, this is how much of Australia is on fire. And the map was, you look at it, and it just, wait a minute. So you're telling me that Texas is on fire? A state the size of Texas is on fire inside of... They absolutely depicted it that way with no explanation whatsoever. So you take that coupled with all the burnt koala, burnt kangaroo stories, and you're like, what is going on? Now, you know what they're angling in on. They're angling in on global warming and climate change and Greta Thunberg, and we must abolish straws now because Australia's on fire. That's what causes. The straws cause Australia to burn. And then Australians started to weigh in on the thread. And the Australians are posting pictures of the areas that they're posting that the tweet says is burning. It says, nope, not true. 68 and Pleasant here. No fires here. Others are like, this map is just ... wrong. Please delete this map. It's not what you're saying it is. You're absolutely doing this. It's so ridiculous these days how it has gotten to where you have this, oh, the sky is falling, and the doom and gloom, and oh, we must fear, we must be scared. We have to scare the shit out of you to look at our clickbait. It's so bad. You have to understand, these are all money-making entities that want you to do this. They want you to look at it. It makes them money. It is in no way credible. It is all horseshit. All of it. Be very, very selective about, and that's both sides, because both sides do it to a degree. The left more than the right. You might not believe that, but it's true. The left is the worst at it. Oh, terrible. The whole country's on fire. That was bad. We got to get into this, too. He is back. My God, I thought he was starting to turn the page. I was in his corner. Colin Kaepernick, I was with you. I was like, let him back into the NFL. It's over. It's done. Let that guy back in. Come on, give him a break. Got a little weird in his tryout when he said, I'm not doing the tryout here. I'm doing it here. There was a little weirdness there. It's like, why is he doing this tryout? What's going on here? Is this in the business for Colin Kaepernick? Is it good for him not to be on a football team? Because does that move the meter? Is he, because, frankly, Colin Kaepernick could have a much longer career as a social justice warrior than he could a football player, because you don't really need athletic ability to be a social justice, conscientious objector warrior. Your career, your money-making options are much greater in that regard than football player. You were a good enough football player, but you're not, Aaron Rodgers. Interesting. Well, I think this answers it. Kaepernick has dove in with both feet onto the America-Iran thing. Kaepernick is, according to this headline, is blasting American terror attacks. He's saying that when we killed that terrorist, that was a terror strike on the Iranian people. Holy shit. Quote, There is nothing new about American terror attacks against black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism. First of all, let me start right there. This guy's skin was neither black nor brown, you asshole. His skin was like mine, olive. That guy is no more black or brown than I am, okay? My dad was born and raised in Iran. He is neither black nor brown. His heritage is from the country that's about this big, small, right next door to it. He knows a little bit about the people that live there. There's no brown people there, you dumb son of a bitch. And it's not about race, Captain Fuckhead. He has made this about race and about him. He is using the death of a sadistic a terrorist to further his social justice warrior-like mentality. And that's disgraceful. And to me, I was in his corner. Now I want, fuck him, man. Kaepernick apparently reacted to the U.S. drone strike with a series of tweets saying nothing new about American terror attacks against the black and the brown. My God. He continued, America has always sanctioned and besieged black and brown bodies, both at home and abroad. Wow. America militarism is the weapon wielded by American imperialism to enforce its policing and plundering of the non-white world. My God. I drew backlash largely from conservatives who called for boycotts of the NFL. I take it back. I'm jumping ahead. It talks about the kneeling thing, which that's what drew boycotts to the NFL. So there's nothing really new here. Just I can't believe this guy, the nerve of him. Well, I give him credit for going all in on it. I mean, at least you know where he stands, right? At least he's not trying to be a wishy-washy puss about the whole thing. So I'll give him credit for having the nerve to say some horse shit like that. But, well, that's it. And finally, the last one to get in on this spectacle, which is the news surrounding, again, the death of a maniac. I have to apologize because I had the story and then I lost it. Hang on. Jeorgefop. All right. Comedian, actor, George Lopez. There was social media was a buzz yesterday that Iran had put a bounty on the president's head. Now, you know it's not true because if any president had a bounty on his head, that's pretty much an act of war, and that would be responded to in kind quickly. There was some crazy-ass rumor that Iran had put an $80 million bounty onto the head of the president. And in a tweet, that's where George Lopez saw it. Now, he's in trouble because, A, he's propagating something that's not true, and he jumped in, similar to Kaepernick, with both feet with the joke. Now, the joke, in terms of jokes, I would say this was a pretty funny joke, considering the timing. But it's probably going to get him in trouble. That kind of bums me out because, ultimately, I'm here to kind of just joke and make shitty comments about everything that I don't like. There's been a lot of them. Lopez got wind of the bounty on the president's head. And so $80 million for the head of the president or to kill the president or something like that. Lopez made a comment on the tweet that said, "We'll do it here for half." Which I'm not going to lie to you. I did laugh at the joke. I think that's a joke. And I'm sure that's going to be his response when the Secret Service visits him, and they are. How would you like that, to have them bang on the door and say, "Mr. Lopez, we need to talk to you. We have a perceived threat against the President of the United States, leader of the free world. We'd like to talk to you about that." How tight your butthole going to get then, George Lopez? Holy shit. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ the U.S. Secret Service is aware of George Lopez's remark. We're told they're working to see if his words carry any legitimacy as a threat. We're being told part of the process is making this determination will include an interview with George Lopez in some fashion, preferably face-to-face. One source tells us George can probably expect a knock on his door soon, and he'll be finding agents on the other side. He made comments after he left the comment on Instagram. "We'll do it for half." For that, he came under fire from both sides of the aisle. Many saying he'd crossed a line with his joke. And even if he was joking, as he later claimed, the death of an American president is no laughing matter. Once again, the feds feel the exact same way. Now, if I was a federal agent, I actually would laugh at that joke. I wouldn't show Lopez it, and I wouldn't be caught on camera. And then, it's crazy, though, because the feds are everywhere. You can be in the farthest reaches of the United States, and if you threaten the president, either sitting or non-sitting, it's going to get back to them. And then they are going to put you on the stack of the fucking paperwork pile. And you don't want to be on the stack of the or the top of the stack, because then they're going to start doing their legwork to determine what you did. And when they see written down in ink, because the internet is in ink, then you got pissed off field agents who got to come and bang on your door, and they interview you and they talk to you. I know people who've had this happen to them. And God rest his soul, Rick Beckett had this happen to him one time. You don't want to do that. You might want to avoid that going forward. Can I just say, can I just use all of this shit going on as another opportunity to talk about what will be an outrageously entertaining election year? I am so pumped for this, for all that is going to happen. There is going to be some serious arrows flying to and fro, and I cannot wait. I am so happy for this. You might be like, "Oh, I always hate this time of the year." I love it. It's a drama every time you turn around. Bring it on. Give me the goods. And finally, I'm on a platform where I can say whatever the fuck I want. Yes! I would never dream of going down this road on the radio. Ever. Ever. Now, again, obviously there's a slant to what I say. I've been conservative all my life, and I am going to vote for Trump. But there's no bullshit here, okay? You can count on me absolutely not waving a flag like an asshole telling you what to do. I don't do that. I want people from both sides to enjoy this podcast as much as you can. Now, the ones that are going to be liberal and vote Democrat, you're wrong about everything, but that's okay. You have that right to be 100% wrong. You have the right to hate. That's crazy. I don't hate you. Of course, we're winning, but even like when Obama was in office, I didn't hate anybody. I loved Obama. I've spoken to him myself. I've actually talked to Barack Obama when he was Senator Obama. I spent a fair amount of time talking to him, interviewing him on my old show, an interview that I booked because I like Barack Obama. I don't hate anybody. Coming up next, you remember the story about Heidi Broussard? Heidi Broussard is that lady in Texas, I believe, who I thought her husband killed her and her baby. I mean, it seemed like it at the time because he was such a dope in the interview. Not the case at all. Heidi Broussard is dead. The baby is alive. And the story surrounding her death is freaking nuts. We're going to get into that in just a second. But first, as you know, we are throwing so much coal on the fire in terms of sponsorship on the Eric Zane Show podcast. They're all amazing. Blue Frost IT is the managed IT service provider. Some of you don't even know what that is. In small or medium-sized business, you don't have the money to pay a tech guy. And you might be like, oh, my God, who knows how to do this? I just got a virus, or I'm not updated. Steve, in accounting, do you know? You know, it's going to screw everything up for you. Wouldn't it be great to have your own managed IT service provider? The one in West Michigan is Blue Frost IT. When I say the one, is they're the one that I care about. They're the one on this show. Thus, you need to call out to them. 616 516. No, I'm getting numbers mixed up. 616 200 8550. 616 200 8550. Alan and Ashlyn are doing an amazing job building their business, and they want you as a client so that every month you can call out to them to get an update, to get whatever you need for IT. You want to be in a monthly subscription plan with Blue Frost IT. That's your own IT department for a very affordable price, and you don't have to pay them like you're an employee, all right? Everything you need, Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. Official managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast. Hell, if they canceled their ads, they'd still be my managed IT service. I would hire them to do this. As you know, I am very proud to say, and I plant that flag firmly, one of my sponsors, from scratch, fabricates and deals AR-15s. What? He does? Oh, no, I can't listen to Zane. He's peddling an implement of destruction that's going to hurt me. Shut the fuck up. The fuck is wrong with you? Dave Warner got into the biz of making AR-15s in the relative recent past. And once he got into that, he started making these high-end, badass ARs. And I want you, as a gun lover, to check them out. NextLevelArms.com. He's just up the road. He's 6 miles from here. Right now, his crew is cutting steel, milling it, doing all the other shit. I don't know. I guess you can't sand steel. Knocking the burrs off with a file, fitting it, remilling it, building uppers, lowers. These are terms he taught me. Making the weaponry, shipping them out from his plant right here in West Michigan. NextLevelArms.com. Go there, get a custom-made bit of machinery right now from Next Level Arms. An AR-15 is a badass gun, and his specifically are the best in the business, and he ships them all over the world. Dave, where are you going this weekend? Thailand. Why? Well, I'm working on a contract. How the hell does that work internationally? Well, there's a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross. It's a tricky bit of business, but he navigates it all. He was telling me about when the ATF visits his place, and sometimes they just show up because the ATF likes to make sure that all the gun manufacturers are doing it appropriately. So sometimes his butthole gets a little tight when they walk in. Hey, Dave, we're here to see how it's going. And they go in, they check it out. After about 15 minutes, it's all fantastic. And then the agents are like, oh, man, let me see this one. I saw this one online. And they're like taking pictures with the guns. The agents are, because they're so badass. Oh, fucking hey. NextLevelArms.com. All right. I got to get to this Heidi Broussard story. This is chilling. And I didn't pull the audio, so this is going to be a drag. This story really bummed me out, man. There's an ad before it starts playing, I think. I got to buy like 30 seconds of time. So Heidi Broussard has the baby. It's a couple weeks old. Baby vanishes. Mom vanishes. Where are they? Turns out a friend of hers for like the last 10 years killed Broussard and has the baby. Wait a minute. This friend was pregnant with Broussard. They were like having a pregnancy at the same time. And now, wait, what happened to the first baby that she was supposed to have?
Tonight, Heidi Broussard's family tells NBC News they haven't been updated on the investigation and don't understand why no murder charges have been filed in their daughter's death. This, as police today released new details suggesting Broussard's childhood friend Megan Fieramusca wanted her baby. A newly released affidavit reveals video captured on cameras in Broussard's apartment complex showed a car consistent with Fieramusca's the morning the mother and baby disappeared. A witness also reported seeing an adult white female carrying a small infant getting into a car resembling Fieramusca's. That same day, Fieramusca told investigators she went to the beach, returned 24 hours later and told her ex-boyfriend, "Don't be mad, but there's a baby on the bed." That ex-boyfriend, Christopher Green, said he initially thought the child was his until police showed him a flyer with missing Margot on it, and he told them, "That's the baby at my house." Now charged with 2 counts of kidnapping and tampering with a human corpse, investigators say Fieramusca told them she couldn't recall where she gave birth. Fieramusca's attorneys say they are anxious to review the evidence and urge resisting the rush to judgment until all the facts are in. A family waiting for justice for a young mother they called a bright light. Sam Brock, NBC News.
All right, they didn't go into some of the things I'm going to go into right now, but you won't believe this shit. Broussard and Fieramusca are pregnant at the same time. What Broussard has no idea about is that Fieramusca has one of those fake pregnancy things under her clothes. The boyfriend that they mentioned there in that clip, he says, "Yeah, I knew she was pregnant, but I never saw her actual belly." Now that you mention it, this is like her ex-boyfriend that said, "I saw the baby on the bed." So it's now being, all the dots are being connected. This is what happened. Fieramusca had a fake, her friend got pregnant. She wanted a baby. So her plan was she's all of a sudden pregnant with her friend. And they're, picking out baby clothes together. I'm going to get this for my baby. I'm going to get this for my baby. Fieramusca is plotting. Broussard has the baby. She seizes the opportunity, and an eyewitness said that after the baby was born, Fieramusca was in the delivery room. They gave the newborn baby to the grandpa, who Fieramusca, like somebody said, she swept in and grabbed it, and everyone's kind of like looking at her like fucked up. What just happened? And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll take the baby. That's kind of weird, but oh well." Well, a short time later, as you heard, weeks pass. What Fieramusca did was she kidnapped the two, killed Broussard, and then now she's got her baby. That's what she did, and people thought that Fieramusca had her own baby, and that the baby that she kidnapped, that she kidnapped the baby and saying, "Everybody, look at my baby," and all the people are like, "Oh wow, you had your baby, congrats, all right, good job," but no. So the boyfriend said, "Yeah, that's the baby at my house." The cops, they didn't say this in the story, the cops go there, they find Fieramusca and the baby, and I'm not lying, this is gross, they smelled the body. They could smell something. Pop the trunk, ma'am. They open it up, Broussard's in there. Can you believe this shit? And so she was arrested on kidnapping, I think they said, and tampering with a corpse. And I think what they're doing is that people are like, "Why? How are we going to be having declared murder charge?" I think they're getting I would assume they're kind of just getting their shit in order before they actually charge her. But they got her on those first charges. And I think they've got like 90 days to charge her with murder, and they will. I feel like a first-class dick for assuming that the husband did it. That's kind of like human nature of the beast, though. Human nature, I should say, because we've heard so many times that the husband did it. They always look at the husband, but this one, not the case. And this, good police work there. My God. All right. The second best podcast ever is the Threads Podcast. All right, threadspodcast.com is where you go. I always like giving you something else to listen to from time to time, because if you run out of stuff to listen to on the Eric Zane Show podcast, you can always check out my friends on Threads. They post weekly. All right, I want them to do it daily. Do it daily, guys. Jason and Ben, thank you so much for sponsoring the Eric Zane Show podcast. You're good guys. Let's get together soon, by the way. The last time you guys were in here, we had a blast. Actually, no, you owe me. You were in here last. I need to go to your place next, okay? I want to see how you've done and the changes you've made on the Threads podcast since the last time I was there. Jason wants me to go to Podcast Movement, which sounds a lot like bowel movement. But what it is it's a convention of podcasters. But I can't do it. I'm not a fan of those. I went to the last one, the radio conference, because I was invited to speak on a panel. But I don't know. Something keeps me from going to one of those. Maybe down the road. I don't feel like I'm ready for that yet. It's you get together with all these podcasters. A part of me thinks it's just a profit deal, because I know the guy that puts it on, and you know it costs a lot to go to the event. You got to get tickets for it. Like, it's not cheap. And I sometimes feel that the people that are putting it on only put these things on as kind of a gouge. You know what I mean? Not to mention you got to pay for transportation, food, lodgings. And I'm definitely not in that boat. Kind of broke. When I say I'm broke, I mean it like as a small business owner broke. Lights are on, but I'm very bare bones. But because of great sponsors like Threads and Prince Arming, we're able to keep the lights on. Prince Arming, you can still sign up for CPL training. It takes place not this Thursday, but next Thursday. And it's a 2-day class. All right, let me check the exact date. I can't remember off the top of my head. The 16th and the 18th. All right, the 16th in the evening at like 4:30, and then Saturday morning, that's the back half of the class. You will get a certification that will allow you to go to any county in the great state of Michigan, show them that, and they go, all right, you're going to earn a pistol license after we do your thorough background check and fingerprint you. So the first thing you got to do, and you don't even need to be a gun owner to take the class, is take the class. Click on the Prince Arming logo on ericzaneshow.com, and all the details are there. You don't know how to do it, or you can't find it because you're a moron, reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and I'll tell you step by step, dope. But if you can't figure it out, I don't want you handling a pistol. It's going to set you back $125 for the class. But you're going to love it, and you'll make friends. It's a good class. It's the class. All right, I got one more thing I got to talk about. Chris reached out to me and said, Zane, you got to watch this documentary. Now, I love a good documentary. And a Netflix documentary, I always love them. Sometimes you got to take these things with a grain of salt. In fact, this is one of them, but I won't be watching it. I will not be watching this documentary. I cannot get up the strength to do it, because the background of the documentary is so obscene, the backstory, that it puts me in such a bad spot mentally that just knowing that it actually happened, from learning from Chris' emails, put me in a bad spot yesterday for about an hour. The documentary is called Don't F with Cats, and they spell it F and then asterisk $K. Don't fuck with cats is what it's called. I had never heard of it. So I click on it, and I'm watching a trailer. And about I made it to about 30 seconds of it, because what this is the story of, it's the story of people who found in one of the dark recesses of the internet a video that a lot of strange people watched that shows a young person, I don't even like saying it, doing something terrible. And ultimately, it leads to the death of 2 kittens. And that actually happened. A person made a video of that. And I did not see that, and I don't know if they show that. I don't think that in the video they would actually show that video. But a person did do this. And this is a story of people or person, I don't know, because I'm not going down that road. I'm not going to watch it, who then were so pissed that they used clues to find out where this originated and who did this. And apparent, and I don't want to spoil it for. I don't know. I'm not going to see it, and I didn't see it. But it's and what they to what lengths they went to get this person in trouble. And if they did, I don't know, because I stopped the fucking thing. I went, whoa. And I stopped it right there, X'd out. I couldn't handle it, man. And I sat here and I was like, whoa, my God. I'm sure it's a great story, but it's just so putting that notion in my brain really affected me. I mean, bad. Oh, God, it was bad. I wrote back to Chris and go, hey, man, I can't do it. And he was apologetic. He goes, I'm sorry I did that to you. God, no worries at all, man. It's just, it affected me. I was wrecked. Holy shit. I don't like to even think that is a thing. It really bothers me. That's probably why I have 800 pets here. Real animal lover here. Oh, God. I mean, talk about if you're that guy, and I don't even know what happened to the bad guy if he ended up going to prison, I guess I should probably watch it because I want to find out what happened to the guy, what ultimately happened here. I'm just very concerned about it affecting me, hurting me. I mean, you don't know it by the way I talk half the time, but I'm extremely fragile about certain things, and that might put me over the edge. Oof. So, I don't know. I'll let you know. But it's out there, and for some of you that doesn't bug you at all, maybe if some of you will watch it and then be just as pissed off as I am, maybe I should just reach out to Chris and just ask him how bad it gets, because I don't want it to. I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it. You know what I mean? That's weird. All right, I got more to talk about in the Patreon. I am not done podcasting, and if you sign up, you'll be in the running, and not all the details yet, for free carpeting up to $1,500 from Bennett Flooring Installation. I haven't given you all the details of that yet because I don't have all my ducks in a row on it. But that will be for Patreon people only. And you're in the running for Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia if you are with me on Patreon. And I have more stories to talk about, including what Antonio Brown has been up to. That's right, an update on Antonio Brown. Will he end up playing football again? You never know. Or maybe he'll do something else. Yeah. For the cheese stealer O'Neal, for Bruce, who's not in the doghouse, I am Eric Zane. I host a stupid podcast. Thank you for checking it out. Whether on the live stream or whether on the downloadable audio. Either way, I'd love you to download it at ericzaneshow.com. Hey, throw me a review on iTunes, would you? On Apple Podcasts. That would be subscribe, rate, and review is the formula. You didn't even have to say anything nice. I don't give a shit what you say. Just give me a review. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you down the road.